were actually walking with him from Guguletho to Athlone. Citizens have been showing a huge amount of enthusiasm to meet Cyril Ramaphosa, and the same enthusiasm could clearly be seen in our business community with a passion for golf, who met our nation's leader at the Presidential Golf Challenge.
It's a day upon which the highest-ranking officials in the country trade in their blazers and ties for golf shirts and caps as they take on the fairways of the Presidential Golf Challenge. Now, inaugurated in 1996, the Presidential Golf Challenge gives the sitting president the opportunity to raise funds for a charity of his choice. And this year, the money raised will go to the Cyril Ramaphosa Foundation. So, on a point of order, it's time to tee off.
All the proceeds raised by the Golf Challenge are distributed to charities chosen by the President, and it's a rare opportunity for business leaders to play golf alongside our nation's head of state.
Natekhomo, looking behind you at the golf carts making their way to the fairway, it must be quite a relief because it means that the Presidential Golf Challenge of 2018 is finally underway. But it must have taken quite some energy and effort to organize this day.
It's taken quite a while, and hard work, sleepless nights, having to ensure that people do exactly as one is instructing. But I must say it was fun as well. We are grateful actually to the President for agreeing to be on today, given his busy schedule.
Why is the Presidential Golf Challenge such an important event on the government calendar?
We are trying to make sure that the coffers that are going to be collected here go to where they're supposed to be, which is to support the needy, to support our youth in their development.
Youth was represented at the event by Cassidy Williams, a 20-year-old rising golf star who had the honor of being the President's golf partner.
Today is a fantastic day. The weather is great, and to be playing golf here after a budget day is really fantastic. And I'd like to thank all the business people who are here, the various companies, and of course our Department of Public Service who have arranged this. And the companies who are here, we thank you, we applaud you, because we're doing this for charity. So it's a great day, and it's a great day for fun, for laughing at each other as we miss golf balls. But only on one condition: you don't laugh at the President's mistakes.
Mr. President, it's only been a few days of you officially in office. How does the title settle in when you're walking around? People are referring to you as Mr. President.
Well, many people still refer to me as DP, and that's the one that I'm used to. So I'm saying to them they should just call me President DP. Yeah, it's still taking time to settle in, and with the support and the enthusiastic feeling amongst our people, I think it will settle in with time, because a new dawn has really arrived in our country, and people all over the country are feeling enthusiastic. When I came in, I saw a number of residents of this golf course, which I've never seen before, standing at the gate holding the South African flag. And a new sense of pride, a new sense of enthusiasm has come in. Even the vuvuzela is going to say we should go and start. So it's fantastic.
Although the President himself declared that he's no Tiger Woods, he's a champion for the people. And helping those in need seems to be par for the course of his presidency.
In golf, just as much as in life, it's always the follow-through that makes the big difference. And as much as today's 18 holes played at the Atlantic Beach Golf Club were about raising money, it is the true long-term effect that'll have an impact on South African lives.
We thank our new president for all of his efforts there and for being so generous with his time with us as well. Absolutely love that. Well, it is Friday Eve, as Leanne loves to say. We're ahead of the weekend, almost there. Let's see what's breaking at the South African box office at the moment and who's got that top spot.
Wakanda's got vibranium and now wads of cash, 8 billion rand to be precise. Here's the box office top 5. Number 8 of 9 Best Picture noms to hit SA, only the second making the top 5. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri is 5th. The Kids' Hand, Tad, The Lost Explorer and The Secret of King Midas its 3rd week in 4th. Over 2 months charting its basic body swap comedy worth 10 billion rand, Jumanji still 3rd. I'm as freaky as the rest of you, but watching 50 Shades Freed is a level of self-abuse I'm not ready for. It's number 2. And it might be hard for a good man to be king, but he makes number 1 look easy. I promise I'm doing the crossed arms thing for Black Panther. Amagu.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Can you see him? Can you see him?
I feel like if I don't do this...
Dude, can I shake your hand first of all and say well done on a superb coverage of the Black Panther, dude.
Oh, I thought you said
on a superb outfit this morning. No, you had some amazing interviews, and you could see how the stars absolutely loved how deep you went into the anthology, the film itself, everything.
Thank you, but I think like one of the coolest things about this film as well, although I did have a great time, is if you can meet an actor who is just a fan of their own movie, and not just going through the hamster wheel of promotion, which they can't help because it's tiring or whatever, but they were actually, they were present and they were really excited about the film.
Well, yeah, you played a big role in that, so well done, dude. So now we move on to what's breaking at the box office, the
Graham's here for it.
Winkler.
Yes.
Dude, Greg. Dude,
Greg Crick, yes.
This is awesome, guy. Is it awesome?
Well,
yes.
I haven't seen it, so yes, if it makes you feel better. Thanks. The Raw is obviously a South African movie then. Amélie Dupree is the lady at the front of it. Directed by Frans Cronje, who's the producer, of course, of Faith Like Potatoes, which I think South Africans bought like 4 million DVDs
of.
So
he knows how to do it, yeah.
They really do like these movies, and so it's, you know, got strong Christian themes, and I think that a lot of that audience will really love this. She's a young lady who feels like she's got this God-given gift of song, and she needs to express it somewhere larger than just the bushveld. So she wants to go to Broadway, wants to go to New York, get away from very traditional dad, who's like, no, actually you have to stay in the bushveld, marry close to home, and, you know, like carry on the life. Yeah. And naturally a dude gets rugby tackled by a lion in the scene,
take him down!
Quite enjoy. I don't know why that's happening.
Running around with a whip there.
So as well as this tension between father and daughter, and also like this you know, love triangle in a way between her pursuing the talent and
her dreams,
and the boy next door type thing. There's also this issue of survival against poachers who are threatening this game reserve. So
South African narrative, man. That's awesome, dude.
Everyday life for us.
Okay, let's raise our game now. Let's get into the heavy stuff. No Malone. No. Did you see how I did that? No Malone.
Oh, no way. You mean it's a pun on a movie that you're doing the movie first of all? Macaulay Culkin. Now probably
what's
60.
going on? It looks actually ridiculously cute. Dude. First of all, she got pink hair.
Okay, to be fair, I mean, like, it does look totally cute. Like, you know, the way the kinesis of it all, it keeps moving and whatever, it's brightly coloured. So I think the little ones will love it. But what blows my mind is that Home Alone, the movie that Graham was just referencing now, is a movie that's like 3 decades old. So this pun comes up.
Wow.
Wow. Joint pension soon. So, yeah, I don't know how this comes up, but it's like 7 years ago we had Romeo and Juliet, and I think next month there's Sherlock Gnomes as well. I don't know why there's this underground fight in the gnome community, but...
I'm left thinking, why haven't they done it before? That's all I'm left thinking. And then Phantom Thread, obviously you love this film. You gave it 9 popcorns, 9.5 popcorns?
I did. Sure, I'll give it half if you like. So what the hey, now it's in on 9.5. Paul Thomas Anderson is one of my favorite directors of all time, but like I said, there's the triple threat here, Paul Thomas Anderson, Johnny Greenwood, who does the score, lead guitarist of Radiohead, one of my favorite bands of all time, and going to be one of the greatest composers of all time. Daniel Day-Lewis, in his last movie, he has now threatened that, well, this is it, it's retirement for me, not going to act again.
And it is a threat when he does it, man. You're like, no, please.
It is. I mean, like, it's going to diminish the entire industry. What he does when he enters a movie like this is, it's such a cheesy thing to say because so many people say this kind of thing, but when he enters, everyone raises their game. Like, it doesn't just feel like acting. He's seriously, he's a new addition to the planet. Like,
it's almost like there's like a savant-like ability going on there, dude. I don't know. That's just awesome. And then, of course, a little bit later, we are going to have some fun with the people who brought you Horrible Bosses, who are now bringing us Game Night. Dun, dun, dun.
What a sale, Horrible Bosses.
That dog's got a gun. Please don't explain now. He will explain a little bit later, but Game Night is what it's all about when we review our movie a little bit later in the show.
Seems to think I could explain this.
Oh, well, listen, we are taking a very quick break. When we get back, it's time for a little bit of Zumba. Lucas joins us in studio.
Exactly, and joining us right after the break with a musical performance is none other than Mr. Mo. Can't wait for you to hear him. You know what to do. You need to stay right where you are.
Like a star shine, piercing through the darkness of the night. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, we gravitate to the other side, where everything's fine and everything's well. We know we are alright long as we do a thing. We are alright long as we do a thing. We do a thing, yeah, we do a thing. Odds are against us, but we pay them no mind. We know we are alright long as we do a thing. They may paint us bad, they may hate, they may shade. We know we are alright long as we do a thing. Against the odds we go, we just keep on moving. Nothing brings us down, solid as a rock. Against the odds we go, we just keep on moving. Nothing brings us down, solid as a rock. Against the odds we go, we just keep on moving. Nothing brings us down, solid as a rock. Against the odds we go, we just keep on moving. Nothing brings us down, solid as a rock.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
The sand and water resistant Galaxy S8. Made for summer.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for tuning in. Beautiful day, beautiful performance coming your way from Mr. Mo a little bit later on. But we are loving dogs this morning. Obviously, Bob and Bella celebrating an anniversary of sorts this week. So we want you guys, if you can, to post some cool pics, some videos of you celebrating with your dogs. And to inspire you, we're going to bring you the lighter side of owning a dog. I have 2 sausage dogs at home, and there is nothing more, I think, pitiful than a sausage that has been scalded.
You know what? Let me tell you now, this particular sausage dog belongs to Bobby Rodriguez, and he got scolded after he jumped out of the car into traffic. And of course, nothing beats the look of poor shame and guilt on this doggy's face.
Look at that.
Oh my.
I'm talking to you, Cover. Cover.
Cover's like, no.
Oh, my heart just breaks.
Look
It
at
even
you.
looks like Leo, eh? Oh,
He's
no, that look.
guilty.
And by the end of the car ride, he's probably apologizing to the dog
Look
now.
at me when I'm talking to you, Cover.
Copper is just like, I can't.
No.
He's like,
Oh,
"No,
with his little
don't
otter
look at
feet there.
me."
Ah, man, too sweet.
Aw.
Whoa.
Well, listen, something that will get your heart warming up is just to show you the power of adopting a sheltered dog and giving a pet that's in adoption their forever home. So owners have been sharing before and after photos from dogs after they've been rescued, and you can just see the difference it's made in their lives.
Word.
So, yes.
What a little bit of love can do, hey? It's like, oh,
Look at
man,
that. Look how
at
sad
these
they
two.
look.
Look at the difference in those eyes.
Wow.
Like sheer happiness.
Noonies.
Oh, my word.
There are many of photos floating around, so do go check it out. And if you can adopt a pet.
Oh, I love that. Maybe you've got a beautiful rescue story of your own at home. Please post us a vid, a pic. As always, use @Expresso Show as the handle or hashtag Expresso Show. Let us know your love of your pet. Now, time for our musical performance. We are joined by a pretty familiar face on Expresso, innovative musician Mr. Mo, who recently released his debut album, Destiny. Now, all of this wouldn't have been possible if he didn't quit his job to pursue his dream. A massive risk, but boy, is it paying off. Here he is with We Know.
like a star shine, piercing through the darkness of the night. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, we gravitate to the other side, where everything's fine and everything's well. We know we are alright long as we do a thing. We are alright long as we do a thing. We do a thing, yeah, we do a thing. Odds are against us, but we pay them no mind. We know we are alright long as we do a thing. They may paint us bad, they may hate, they may shade. We know we are alright long as we do a thing. Against the odds we go, we just keep on moving. Nothing brings us down, solid as a rock. Against the odds we go, we just keep on moving. Nothing brings us down, solid as a rock. Against the odds we go, we just keep on moving. Nothing brings us down, solid as a rock. Against the odds we go, we just keep on moving. Nothing brings us down, solid as a rock. We are alright. Everything's fine, everything's well. We are alright long as we do a thing. Against the odds we go, we just keep on moving. Nothing brings us down, solid as a rock. Against the odds we go, we just keep on moving. Nothing brings us down, solid as a rock. Against the odds we go, we just keep on moving. Nothing brings us down, solid as a rock. Against the odds we go, we just keep on moving. Nothing brings us down, solid as a rock. Against the odds we go, we just keep on moving. Nothing brings us down, solid as a rock. Against the odds we go, we just keep on moving. Nothing brings us down, solid as a rock. Against the odds we go, we just keep on moving. Nothing brings us down, solid as a rock. Against the odds we go, we just keep on moving. Nothing brings us down, solid as a rock. We just keep on moving, solid as a rock. We just keep on moving. We just keep on moving. Nothing brings us down. We just keep on moving. We just keep on moving.
Oh, yeah! My brother.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
It's popping, man.
Show that back, show that. Mr. Mo, yo, I absolutely love it, dude. We're going to have a chat, bit of a catch-up with you a little bit later in the show. Thank you so much for coming through this morning. Let us know what you thought of that performance. Hit us up on all of our social media platforms at Expresso Show.
In the national news this morning, Eskom says it has signed a 20 billion rand loan facility with a consortium of both local and international banks to help improve the company's cash flow. The deal comes just after the announcement that S&P has downgraded Eskom's credit rating, citing liquidity concerns and insufficient government support that could trigger a default. S&P says the power utility remains at risk of facing a distressed exchange situation or default in the next 6 months, despite securing 30 billion rand in short-term funding this year. New Mining Minister Gwede Mantashe said on Wednesday that he will finalize the mining charter, which has been challenged by mining companies in the next 3 months. The uncertainty around the new rules contained in the charter has deterred investment into a sector that accounts for around 8% of South Africa's gross domestic product. Government says it will negotiate the latest charter with mining companies, prompting the Chamber of Mines to temporarily suspend a legal challenge to the version drawn up by Mantashe's predecessor, Mosebenzi Zwane. Now moving further abroad, countries across Europe have shut schools and are rushing to shelter homeless people as a deadly blast of Siberian weather, dubbed the Beast from the East, kept the mercury far below zero. The death toll has risen to at least 42 since Friday, as victims include 18 people in Poland, 6 in the Czech Republic, 5 in Lithuania, 4 each in France and Slovakia, and 2 each in Italy and Romania. Homeless people account for many of the dead, and cities across Europe have been racing to open emergency shelters to protect people sleeping rough. And then finally, Afghan President Ashraf Ghani has unveiled a plan to open peace talks with the Taliban, including eventually recognizing them as a political party, days after the militants called for direct negotiations with the US. The apparent openness by both sides to some form of negotiations comes as civilian casualties have soared in recent months. Ghani disclosed the framework at the Kabul process, where he called for a truce, after which the Taliban could become a political party and contest elections. Well, that was your 7 o'clock news update. Let's get a look at what's happening in the world of sport. Here's Graham.
Let's kick it off with one of the greatest rivalries in cricket. The Proteas and Australia resume their bitter rivalry today as the first test of their 4-match series gets going in Durban. The most recent test series between the two saw South Africa secure a 2-1 win in Australia last year. However, the Proteas head into the tie having never won a test series against the Aussies on home soil. But Quinton de Kock, AB de Villiers and Faf du Plessis all back in the fold, recovering from injuries. And you can catch today's action from day one in Durban on SABC 3 from 10 a.m. Then a big day, massive day in fact, for South African rugby. They're expected to announce the new Springbok head coach this afternoon, with former Bok player Johan Rassie Erasmus as the leading candidate. Serving as the current director of SA Rugby, Erasmus has long been expected to fulfill the role after former coach Alistair Coetzee vacated it last month. Under the new coach, the Boks' first outing of the season sees them taking on a very stiff challenge in the form of England in a 3-test series, and that's in June. Then on to football. Ajax Cape Town moved out of the PSL relegation zone last night thanks to a 2-0 win over an embattled SuperSport United. The victory takes Ajax up to 24 points on the log, one ahead of the 15th placed Polokwane City, while for United the loss leaves them in 12th position, only 3 points clear of the drop. The PSL continues this weekend as our frontrunners Sundowns tackle AmaZulu. Wits host Baroka, while the tie of the round has to be Orlando Pirates, now definitely in the title chase, up against their old foes Kaizer Chiefs. Then staying with football, the final spot up for grabs in the FA Cup quarter-finals was taken emphatically last night as Tottenham Hotspur, they earned a 6-1 fifth-round replay win over Rochdale. Fernando Llorente was the hero on the night, undoubtedly scoring a hat-trick to send Spurs to the next round, where they'll battle Swansea for a place in the last 4. And there are 2 top English teams in action tonight. Arsenal tackle Man City for the second time in as much as a week, but this time in the Premier League. And kickoff for that game is at 10:15 South African time. And that's where we leave our sport for now.
Well, Well, let's take another look at your traffic. We start off in Gauteng in four ways. There's congestion on the N1 northbound between 14th Avenue and Rivonia Road. It's causing delays of up to 15 minutes. And in the Western Cape, University Estate, there's a stationary vehicle that's on Philip Gosana Drive, or previously known as Duval Drive, and it's currently blocking that left lane, so please be cautious with those bends. That's where I leave your traffic, but let's take another look at your temperatures. And it seems like high temperatures are expected for most parts of the country, reaching high 20s and early 30s. But let's get a full roundup of those temperatures. Starting off in Polokwane, a low of 15 can be expected with a high of 28. Mbombela 16 with a high of 30. Pretoria 15 reaching a high of 30. Thunder showers expected in Johannesburg, a low of 14 and a high of 29. Mahikeng 18 with a high of 30. Klerksdorp 16 reaching a high of 31. Kimberley 17, 31. Bloemfontein 15 reaching a high of 29. Then sunny conditions in Richards Bay 19 reaching a high of 31. Pietermaritzburg 18, 31. Durban 23 reaching a high of 28. Thunder showers expected in Tata, a low of 17, a high of 25. Rain in East London 18 with a high of 24. Cradock 15, 27. Port Elizabeth 17 reaching a high of 24. Partly cloudy conditions in George, a low of 15, a high of 21. Sunny conditions in Sutherland, a low of 9 reaching a high of 25. Cape Town 17, 24. Worcester 13 with a high of 27. Springbok 11 reaching a high of 28. And partly cloudy conditions in Uppington with a low of 19 and a high of 35 degrees Celsius. And that's where we leave your weather for now on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Well, you guys, it's time for us to head to social media this morning. I'm just checking out what our actual question is. Cooking with Expresso. We want to know from you. Of course, it's a pinch and a punch for the first of the month. It is chapter 3 of the year. And we want to know, if you had to have a book, what title would you give that book? And man, this is inspirational. Where to says, I would call it Running Towards the Dream. Valdine says, Moving Towards the Future. Let's see here. Bernard says, call it acceptable, good or bad. Tobogo says, new day, new hustle. Vincent says, as long as I live. And then Bonolo says, my title is Brighter and Brighter, because things are looking up and the future is bright. You guys, if you don't go and write these books, I promise you, I'm gonna steal one of these titles, yo.
Okay, we're practicing our Zumba moves. Good luck a little bit later. No, it's quite a momentous time at the moment for labour law. We are going to be introducing a new minimum wage, which is great news, I think, for a lot of employees. What does it mean for them and employers alike? We'll find out after the break.
And then I need to get rid of the heels. I'm going to put on some tackies. Lucas is here, and we're going to do doing some Zumba. See you after the break.
Nice to see you. Do the grapevine, do the grapevine. How does it?
All right, here we go, party people. Let's go. Say 1, 2, 3, party on now. I'm free, I'm chainless, picturesque and I'm frameless.
If you love Smooth Fame by myself, Katla Maboe, then download the song now on iTunes or Google Play. All the proceeds from downloads will be donated to Choc South Africa. Remember to catch me as the host of Tropica Island of Treasure Maldives, where I give the contestants a chance at Smooth Fame, Mondays at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3. The stage is yours.
Lucas, just give me a mic test, please.
Great, this is Lucas. We are doing Zumba today to Tiptoe. Jason, the
Big fat thing overflowing. Skin tight dress couldn't hold it. Way too
where's the Zumba logo, eh?
Got you too bad and you know it. When you drop down, lose focus. When that thing clap, that's a bonus. That cake looking appetizing. Backpack full, that's a crisis. Bring that body my way. Can't take it off my bread. Look like you do bad.
No, they're picking it up. They'll give us a cue. They'll give us a cue.
No breaks when you push that back. Left, right, do it just like that. All tight when you tiptoe. God bless you from behind it.
You already asked that question?
First class seat when you're riding. One and dine like it's spineless. Bring that body my way. Can't take it off my bread. Look like you do ballet. Yeah, hold tight when you tiptoe. Say something when you tiptoe. No breaks when you push that back. Left, right, do it just like that. Hold tight when you tiptoe.
Wine for me, darling. When you move your spine is alarming. And when you just wine for me, darling.
Trying to figure out who to.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Now, very soon, the government will be implementing a new national minimum wage. This is going to have a huge impact for both employer and employee. Let's find out how.
Now, labour law has been in the spotlight quite a bit recently, and in the next few months, some big changes are happening within labour legislation. Now, to help us understand these changes and arm us with the legal know-how so that we don't get caught off guard, is one of South Africa's leading experts in labour law and CEO of Global Business Solutions, Mr. Jonathan Goldberg. Thank you very much for joining us, and good morning to you.
Thank you. Good morning to you too and your viewers.
I'm sure it's been quite a hectic time for the law fraternity, the labour law fraternity, more specifically, as these changes have been coming around, and one of the major ones being the implementation of the new minimum wage. So could you take us through this and exactly how it'll affect South Africans?
Well, the minimum wage has been a negotiation at deadlock for some time.
Yeah.
The Deputy President then got involved and facilitated an agreement on a national minimum wage. And as you see, he's now the President, and in the SONA address, he alluded to the fact that it's still going to happen on the 1st of May. So there's a whole range of legislation changes that have to take place before then.
Yeah.
But basically, the minimum wage is going to be 20 Rand an hour from the 1st of May. That's still on track. And there's a minimum working hours of 4 hours a day. So in other words, someone would have to earn 80 Rand a day.
Yeah.
There is an exception for domestics and farm workers. Farm workers at 90% of that 20 Rand, and domestics at 75% of that. For the first 2 years, they will be pegged at a percentage of the national minimum wage to ensure that there aren't huge job losses at those very low levels and skills levels.
Yeah. So now, what about the law as it relates to paternity leave? Because that's also been a contentious issue for quite some time, and how also it relates to same-sex couples.
So if you go back and look at this, this was in a private member's bill. It'll be a change to the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, which seems to be a little bit behind the other legislation, but it's coming, and there's more paternity leave. So the proposal, which will go through, I believe, into legislation, is 10 days paternal leave. If you are the father, and you can prove that on the unabridged birth certificate, but that would be unpaid. And the intention, I think, is from the UIF Commission to pay it at the same level as they pay maternity leave benefits. There's also additional parental leave for adoptive parents. If the child is under 2 years of age, you're going to get 10 weeks. Again, unpaid, but paid by the Commissioner it's our view, paid by the Commissioner UIF on the same basis of maternity leave, and also for a surrogate child.
Yeah.
And they're talking about one parent would be able to take off that leave.
Okay.
So only one parent, you could check which is the other parent, and of course it covers same-sex couples as well.
So when we come to the effect of all of these laws then on companies, what precautions or new implementations do companies need to put in place to make sure that they are equipped to deal with the changes?
Well, I think for a lot of companies that are under the 20 Rand an hour,
Yeah.
they're going to have to look at productivity. Of course, one of the downsides is potential job losses, but we're going to have to manage that. And again, the agreement around the 20 Rand an hour was an agreement around the fact that South Africa needs it.
Yeah.
But the issue that we're going to have to watch very carefully is job losses. And the way to sort out the job losses is really become more productive. So we have been working with companies. They've really done a lot in respect of productivity, especially in the manufacturing space. And 20 Rand an hour is at the lower levels. We're worried about the effect on farms because, again, we saw the effect of the sectoral determination going up some 5 years ago by a massive amount and the effect it did have on employment numbers. But we're going to have to manage that. There's also an exemption procedure, and I think the Department of Labour has done a very good job. Initial view is that they're going to have an exemption procedure that's automated. So if you are already in a financially poor situation as a company, you'll be able to apply for an exemption from the national minimum wage.
Okay.
And it'll be automated, quick and easy to do.
Yeah. And of course that's a massive concern for employees, especially those at the bottom of the breadline, so to speak. So how do they protect themselves and ensure that they can hold their employers accountable in given situations?
You know, we have some of the most advanced labour law in the world. And the Commission for Conciliation, Mediation and Arbitration, the CCMA, is a very effective mechanism for employees to freely and cheaply take their cases on where they've been unfairly dismissed or unfairly treated. And the CCMA is now given jurisdiction to police, for instance, the minimum wage. So they are the custodians again of the national minimum wage. And that system is well known to workers. It works very effectively. I actually think we've got, Ms. Robbie, one of the best dispute resolution systems in the world through the CCMA. So they've done exceptionally good work with limited budgets and not huge increases of budget, but huge increases of volume of work and acts that they now have to police. The national minimum wage is a new act that they're going to have to police, and I think that is very good because workers, employees are used to that particular system.
Well, clearly a lot to consider, but thank you so much for your time and expertise, Mr. Goldberg. Now, if you're an employer or would like to get a better grip on how to navigate through these legislation changes, you can check out the National Employment Conference taking place at Empress Palace on the 8th of March. And if you'd like more information on the conference, then visit the website globalbusiness.coza.
Well, we promised you some Zumba. We have Lucas and the team here. Mr. Mo is also joining us. But before we get into our Zumba, there's, of course, the Cape Town Zumbathon for a cause taking place very soon. And we have the organizer, Didier, here to tell us a little bit more what people can expect. How can they get involved?
Well, basically, they can go to www.zumbathonforacause.co.za to get their tickets and get involved in just dancing and having fun. Basically, the idea is to redistribute the money towards Hope Cape Town, which is an organization that takes care of AIDS awareness.
Okay.
And this is the best way of saving life by just dancing and having fun.
Oh, dancing, having fun is all for a good cause. Yeah. And when is it taking place?
It's taking place at the Good Hope Seminary School in Frederhoek, and that's right by, in Cape Town still.
Around the corner, and is it the Saturday?
That's correct. Saturday. This Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Starting 9 a.m. and then ending at 1 p.m. basically.
Oh, fantastic. Well, all the details are on your screen, so head on over to their website and see how you can get involved and, of course, join in on the fun. Didier, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And Lucas, you're now going to show us a little bit of what we can expect.
Well, yeah, definitely. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
So the song is called Tippy Toe, so I'm going to tippy toe around to you on this side so you can see what's going on. Is everybody in the back ready?
Yes.
We've got Mo in the house and Echo. Echo's going to be joining us.
Nice.
Oh. Here we go. 1, 2. Again. 1, 2. How you doing, Mo?
Got some swag.
Here we rebel. Cross. Good. Let's travel. Cross. Are you ready for tiptoe?
Yes.
Whoa! Cross it up. Other side. And yeah. One more. from the top. Other side. Da, da, that's it. Again. One more. Cross. Cross. You ready for tiptoe?
Yeah.
Let's go. Uh-huh. Other side. Now watch, here we go. Watch, we're gonna go. Pump, pump.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was Lucas doing some Zumba with us. Of course, this coming Saturday, it is the Cape Town Zumbathon for a cause. Head on over to their website, see how you can get involved. Lucas, always great having you here.
Thank you very much.
And enjoy the Zumbathon this coming Saturday.
We definitely will. Hey, thank you very much.
We should keep doing.
A beautiful day like this deserves a beautiful smoothie. How far you've come, Zoe. How far you've come,
The rhythm
man.
is still getting there. We're still getting there.
You rocked it. So you've earned yourself a beautiful smoothie this morning. Delicious, yes, but it's all about the antioxidants. We're going to fight those free radicals in your system. So we've got some sweet melon, banana, honey. It looks absolutely amazing. And of course, the cream on top, we've got our full cream clover classic yogurt here. Absolutely love it. So what we're going to first put in, we've got our banana here. We know very rich in potassium, also B6 as a vitamin power punch. So that's one for the gods. Then sweet melon, it is jam-packed, vitamin A, B, C, K as well, but it's also got so many antioxidants in it. This is such a good way to start your day, to purify your system. I'm going to try and not get half of it. Oh, there's a little bit for the gods. On the table, a bit more for the gods. Beautiful.
Yes.
I've never known the difference between sweet melon and spunspick. My mother could never tell me.
It's Afrikaans in the English term.
Then we've got some honey, also very rich in antioxidants. It's also going to add a nice, beautiful flavor there, a little bit of sugar. So you want an energy kick as well when you're starting your day. Then you want about a cup of our beautiful, rich, and don't hold back. I always go for the full cream.
Go for it.
Okay, that's about a cup's worth there. And then just a half cup of water. Just to help it all bind. One down. Beautiful. So you're going to whip it all together. You can pre-make this the night before, keep it in the fridge after you've done your beautiful Zumba workout. Bum, bum, bum.
Colours come together beautifully. There we go.
Beautiful. And there we have it. I'm going to ask you to do the pouring.
Do that.
Absolutely beautiful. So the keyword here is drink to 33728. If you'd like to recreate this, we'll send you a link. You click on the link. How beautiful does that look?
Looks yummy.
Light, fluffy, and as we've said, jam-packed full of antioxidants. Let's give it a taste.
There we go.
Cheers. That keyword again is drink to 33728.
You taste the sweet melon. It's amazing.
Die Spunspick.
Well, this morning you can stand a chance of winning tickets to a special pre-release screening of Death Wish with only New Metro. Now, this action-packed thriller stars Bruce Willis as a surgeon, Dr. Paul Kersey, who goes on a hunt for his family's assailants after a brutal attack on their suburban home. With the police overloaded with crimes, Paul takes matters into his own hands to seek justice. Fate and fury collide in this intense action thriller. Is he a guardian angel or a grim reaper? There's only one way to find out. We have loads of tickets for winners and their partners to see Death Wish at either New Metro V&A Waterfront in Cape Town or New Metro The Pavilion in Durban on Thursday, the 8th of March at 8 p.m. Now, to enter, all you need to do is SMS the keyword Death Wish, your name and your city to 40675. SMSs will cost you R1 per SMS and no free minutes or bundles apply.
We're going to take you into the final frontier after the break. 50 years on from its discovery, we're going to find out exactly what a pulsar is and why it's so important for South African astronomy. Then we review, or at least JP Sebastian is going to review the movie Game Night. Stay tuned.
Get a taste of the smooth island life and win big with Tropica Island of Treasure Maldives. Via Tropica, follow the entry details on the pack and you could win daily airtime prizes, Daniel Klein watches, American Tourista luggage for your next adventure, vouchers from loot.co.za to shop the hot daily deals online, and the grand prize of a Kia Picanto. For competition T's and C's, visit tropica.co.za. And don't forget to watch Tropica Island of Treasure Maldives every Monday at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso as we take you into the final frontier. Now, 50 years ago this week, a scientific paper was published that has been labeled as one of the most significant scientific achievements of the 20th century. No small feat. Now, it details the discovery of something called Pulsars and led by astrophysicist Jocelyn Bell Burnell. It has led to some incredible scientific breakthroughs in the half-century since. So today we are going to unpack exactly what a pulsar is, and joining us to do that in our final frontier discussion this morning, once again, is Dr. Imogen Whittam from UWC. Doc, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a really big day for science. Yes, the discovery was amazing, but it's the amount of discoveries since that have happened as a result of this that make it so special. But first, dumb it down for us. What exactly is a pulsar?
So when stars a bit larger than our sun reach the end of their life, they explode in an event known as a supernova. And left behind is the collapsed core of the star, which is an extremely dense object known as a neutron star. Now, some of these neutron stars emit beams of radiation from both of their poles, and as they spin, those beams sweep out across the galaxy in much the same way that a lighthouse beam sweeps out across the sea. And so this means that if you view these objects from Earth, they appear to pulse on and off, in a similar way that a lighthouse seems to flash on and off when you look at it from a ship or from the land.
So, I mean, it's an amazing, huge celestial event, but this has led to so many discoveries. Why was this so important for science in general?
So the discovery was serendipitous, so it was a total surprise to scientists. When Jocelyn Belbonell was studying for her PhD at the University of Cambridge in the UK, she...
So Bob and Bella, they love looking at
yeah, they can't get enough
pulsars,
of these pulsars. So she noticed this strange scruff in her radio data, and on further inspection discovered that it was made up of a series of very regular pulses. And scientists didn't know what could be causing this. There were no known objects that could make this kind of signal. And in fact, the signal was nicknamed LGM1, standing for Little Green Men 1, as a bit of a joke for the fact that it could be aliens. And of course, scientists now know that it was the signals are caused by the spinning cores of collapsed stars, which provided a missing piece in our understanding of what happens at the end of stars' lives. And that's led to a number of other discoveries, such as the indirect detection of gravitational waves.
Man, and we know that, I mean, Einstein was so far ahead of the field when he first kind of broached the idea, but now I would imagine this when you're building a telescope, especially in parts building the biggest telescope ever made, this has to play a role. How does this tie into what we're doing here in South Africa? Obviously, South Africa playing a part now in building the biggest telescope in existence.
Yes, so the Square Kilometre Array, or SKA, is being built in the Karoo. It's going to be the world's largest radio telescope. And there are a number of very exciting science projects planned by scientists here in South Africa. And pulsars play a key part of one of these, because some of the pulses from some of these pulsars are extremely regular, which means that they can be used as very precise clocks. And so that means if you've got an array of these pulsars in the galaxy, and you measure them, you can detect tiny distortions in space and time from things like gravitational waves, and that means that we can test Einstein's general theory of relativity.
Just a step away from bending space so that we can travel through space and time. I absolutely love it. So take a moment to recognize the incredible contribution made by astrophysicist Jocelyn Belbonell. Doc, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
I always know by the end of the session if my hairs are rising on my arm, we've hit the mark. Absolutely amazing stuff. We celebrate 50 years of the Pulsar, or at least knowing about them.
Now, if you go full-on Caruso playing Cluedo or Musk in Monopoly, maybe direct that competitive energy towards comedy on the big screen tomorrow. Game night tangles a group of friends in a kidnapping game more real than they actually first planned. They'll need all the help that they can get in solving it, even from the weirdo next door they usually don't invite. Here is Game Night.
Harry!
Goodness. To what do Bastian and I owe the pleasure?
Well, we were all just talking, and we realized we haven't had a game night in ages, just the 7 of us.
So, I thought you were going to your brother's house.
I never said that. Come on, Gare Bear, live a little, it's a weekend.
We were just saying how you were always better at games than Debbie was.
Well, thank you not to besmirch my ex-wife. That woman is an angel.
Oh, yeah, she was much better at games than you.
I will admit I have eagerly awaited a visit such as this.
Where'd he go? Did we follow him?
It seems like it.
Ryan, you go first.
I'm scared.
Listen, that's not creepy at all. Hey, why did you have to do that whole thing, that backtracking into the dark? Oh my goodness, this looks amazing from that first clip alone. JP Sebastian in the house. Tell us more about Game Night.
Firstly, I want to say Jesse Plemons, clearly like a revelation.
Yeah.
One of the funniest things about this movie. So that's one of the first things you'll notice, obviously, about Game Night is, firstly, it's a comedy, good job. Secondly, it's not shy to be weird at times, which I think, you know, comedies these days, it's mostly straight down the line, A to B, or frat boy kind of, you know, just dirty comedy and whatnot. But this is a blend, it's a mix of all sorts of those types of really predictable stuff, plays on words, really gross stuff, and also the weird stuff that maybe people miss from Anchorman.
Yeah.
You were just saying that you love Jason Bateman.
I do. I love him. He's one of the best, driest comedic actors actors in the world.
Absolutely. So, like, I've obviously enjoyed him like you did too from Arrested Development.
Yes.
You know, he's obviously like the central dry piece in a totally weird and colorful cast in that. But for me, like, he's never... I hate that he just sometimes doesn't want to be there. You can see on his face, he's like...
Yeah.
And just part of the movie as well. But he's perfectly fit in a script that's really well written, actually. So the story being, by the way, this is... is that this couple that's really into, like, they do pub quizzes, they do board games, they do Pictionary, they do all this kind of nonsense, and they invite their friends over for a wild night where everyone plays these kind of games. By the way, are you really competitive when it comes to these things?
I'm very competitive. I actually don't get allowed to play things like, you know, anything.
Absolutely anything. Yeah, I can see. She's got this weird murderous intent in the eyeball. So yeah, I know whose game nights I'm not attending. So, sorry, shame.
It's okay.
What they do is they hire this company that kidnaps a friend for you, and it's all going to be ha-ha, he-he, play actors and all that kind of stuff. But their friend is really rich and actually does get kidnapped on the night that they think it's all just a goof, as they slowly start to realize it. You know.
Is this Rachel McAdams' first kind of forage into comedic acting?
Stuff.
Because she always does the romantic
She's done
dramas.
rom-com stuff. She's done like heavy. She's one of the best actors we've got alive. But she does very well in this. It is probably her first foray into a lead role in a comedic part.
Did I say forage?
No, you said foray.
Oh, did I say foray? I like
I'm so competitive about a lexicon. Do you know what the word lexicon means? No, never mind. Okay. They're actually really cute together. The chemistry seems very natural. And like I said, you've got a great balance of all sorts of comedy. It's not just too hard-hitting on the same dumb jokes, but also quite sophisticated and at times the healthy amount of stupid you need.
Exactly. So we know that it's not going to be nominated for an Oscar. But how many popcorns would you nominate?
How many popcorns do I give it?
Popcorns.
JP gives us 7.5 popcorns.
7.5? Not too bad, JP. You have changed in 2018, my friend.
No, but honestly believe that I would hate this movie because, you know, like every other movie that, how about we do Office Christmas Party for the 4th time? Or like, what else do couples do? Because I'm so unhappy in my own marriage as a writer in Hollywood or something like that. I don't know. That's really mean for no reason.
It is, actually.
But it's really funny.
Okay, we need to get JP a date, everybody. 7 out of 10, that's what he's given.
Not a game night.
Of course, game night. If you want to go check it out, you know where to go. New Metro.
Well, time to put our guests head-to-head with the My School, My Village, My Planet fundraising program, which allows you to raise funds for what matters most to you every time you shop. So this week, we're playing the My School, My Village, My Planet quiz to educate and show viewers at home just how easy it is to really give back and help change lives. So let's play the My School, My Village, My Planet quiz, and these are the rules. We're going to put our very own Lucas, who's been doing the Zumba with us, against our very own fashion editor, Nick Strelitz, and the two of them are going to go head-to-head. So here's the rules. There are 3 multiple-choice questions, all related to the My School fundraising program. I will read them out. You need to wait for me to finish the question before you can answer. If you get the correct answer, well, if you know the answer, you hit the buzzer. If you're correct, you get a point. If you're incorrect, your opponent has a chance to give it a go. Now, the contestant with the most points will win a 1,500 Rand loot.co.za gift voucher, and that's to donate to one of their schools or charities. So if you win, one of your chosen schools or charities gets that loot.co.za voucher. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready, yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Question number 1.
All right.
At how many partner stores can you use your My School card? Is it A, more than 1,000, B, more than 1,500, or C, more than 2,000?
Oh, I missed it.
It's Lucas.
All right, I will say it is B.
More than 1,500, that's absolutely correct. Lucas gets 1 point. Nick, you need to hit the buzzer, not the table.
So not the table.
You must hit
it's
the buzzer.
Buzzer, not the table.
Okay, question number 2. Right. Which one of these are a My School partner? Is it A, BP, B, loot.co.za, C, Discam? Nick.
Loot. Dakoza. B.
That is
B.
absolutely correct. Okay, this is the tiebreaker. Lucas has won, Nick has won. Final question is a true or false question. Okay. And the question is, you can use your Woolworths card at any of the partner stores.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I feel like Lucas hit the buzzer.
You
hit the table.
And
so
I hit
Lucas,
his hand.
True or false?
Doesn't count.
You can use your Woolworths card at any of the partner stores.
False.
It's false. That's absolutely correct. You can use your Woolies card at Woolworths stores only, but you have to have the My School card to use at all partners. So that means, Lucas, you're our winner. 2 points to you.
I'm so happy for him.
And who's your chosen charity or school?
My chosen to the school will be Grace and Prep. I've got nieces and cousins that go there, so I'll donate that to them.
That's fantastic. 1,500 loot.co.za vouchers is heading to them. Thank you for playing along. And you can win too. Now, all you need to do is head on over to the Expresso Facebook page and you answer this very easy multiple choice question. It is true or false. And the question is, can you change your selected schools or charities on the My School app? Now remember, in order to win, you have to be a My School card holder. If you're not one, you can download the free My School app today. The competition ends at midnight and those T's and C's are available on our website. That's expressoshow.com.
Well, still to come on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we're talking runway hairstyles that are made so easy, even you can do them.
Oh man, and then speaking of style, it's all about the Oscars this month, and we're going to take a look at what you can expect from that red carpet flair.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
We are back on the couch. Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso. Mr. Mo is still with us, and now this time we're going to find out what our international stars have been up to.
The royals, to be exact. Well, Meghan Markle might not be a royal just yet, only when she weds Prince Harry later this year, but she's already a part of the family, and we certainly do love her. Now, the engaged couple accompanied the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge on their first joint appearance, speaking at the Making a Difference Together conference. Now, the charity organization was initially set up by Will, Kate and Harry. However, after Harry and Meghan tie the knot on the May the 19th, she will be a patron too. So talk about keeping things in the family. And I love one of the questions that they asked is like, do you think that women need to find their voice? And she actually said, women already have a voice. We just need to encourage more people to listen to that voice and for them to be given platforms where they can use that voice. So she's stunning. I love her.
She's got the heart for this, so it's going to be very exciting to see how she's going to take on that royal role.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Stan Lee had fans worrying last month when he had a short stint in hospital, and while he's been discharged, he's not out of the woods just yet. Now, Marvel comic book legend has revealed that he is battling pneumonia, and in a message to TMZ, the 95-year-old said that he seems to be getting better, adding that he wants fans to know that he's thinking of them and he misses them all. Stan has fans, I mean, of course, as fans of yours, we all want to say that we're thinking of you, and it was so good to see him making a little bit of a cameo appearance in Black Panther as well, so that was really, really cool.
Mo, have you seen Black Panther?
Yes, I have.
He did make an appearance in there, right?
I'm
Or
still
am
to
I?
see it.
Oh wow! I'm not gonna ruin it. I'm not gonna ruin it for you, just so. But it's very great.
Absolutely amazing, Mr. Mo. I can't wait to hear you, of course, perform a little bit later on. But for now, let's move on to some other things.
Yes. Well, you listen. We're international entertainment news to fashion, especially when it comes to fashion weeks. That's where the world gets inspiration for the up-and-coming trends. But it's so difficult to often recreate those fashion looks. Well, there's hair care brand Tresemme that's taking that work upon themselves and really making it easy with their Tres Trends videos. Taking runway looks and turning them into styles for the everyday woman. This is the aim of Tresemme's campaign called Tres Trends. They teamed up with some of South Africa's local influencers to create looks for their latest Tres Trends videos, which were filmed in Cape Town. Nicole, Tres Trends sounds like such an amazing campaign, and I can't wait to see the final product. But first, tell me, what's the relationship between Tresemme, New York Fashion Week, and Tres Trends?
Basically, how it started out was we saw all the New York Fashion Week trends coming out every season, and we just thought we needed a way to make it more accessible to our consumers here in South Africa. And also, some of those runway styles you can't really rock every day, so how do you take those eccentric styles and actually make them your everyday outfit or hairstyle? So Tres Trends was born to be a way for us to show consumers how to take the fashion trends off the runway and pair them with the hottest hair trends to get one complete look. It's a perfect way for us to show consumers how do you do the looks in the comfort of their own home with our products.
Why is Tres Trends so important to Tresemme?
It's a way for us to keep our content up to date and new with all the latest fashions. It's a way for us to get our consumers excited about new trends and just to keep them on their toes of what's coming next from the brand.
Tresemme chose 2 local influencers to recreate their favorite looks from New York Fashion Week runway. What were you looking for when choosing these influencers?
It was quite important for us to choose everyday women. Women with an appreciation for fashion, for hairstyles and the latest trends. And what's important about this campaign is we use influencers instead of models, so it's more relatable to our consumers. Kenny Murifu-Winslow is a fashion anthropologist who uses her platform to discuss fashion from the perspective of ethical production, design and impact on communities. What is it about the Tres Trends campaign that excites you?
I think the most exciting part of participating in a campaign, especially like this with Tresemme, is being able to recreate international looks locally for a local market and using a local girl.
Now let's talk about the fashion. Talk me through your whole outfit.
We've got a dynasty-inspired, shiny, vintage feel. I've got this velvet bodysuit that's completely embellished, and look at this drama, these shoulders. On the trousers, we've got a beaded trouser. It's giving me Rihanna, a little bit of disco, but together I think they make a really fun fashion look.
And your first look?
The first look that I modeled today was actually very dainty camisole with some sequins and sparkles for drama, and this phenomenal, voluminous feather skirt that is just to die for.
The aim of the videos is to put the power in the hands of women across the country by providing guidance so they feel confident in styling their hair. Cameron, this is the first time Tresemme is creating Tres Trends videos. How are you and the team planning on bringing this vision to life?
So the first thing we did was we cast some of South Africa's leading influencers in the campaign, and we got them to tell us their own hair regime and the practices that they go to in order to have really stylish and great hair. And then we combined their practices with the trends that came from New York Fashion Week, and together we're able to create engaging videos that I think our audience will enjoy. The second thing we did was shoot at this beautiful location, which allows us to make content that's far more engaging, that people will enjoy. The videos will actually teach people, actually entertain them, if you're interested in hair, that is, which I think ultimately will spell wonderful things for Tresemme.
Which hairstyles did you choose for today?
So today the 2 looks I've chosen are an Alison Olivia inspired Marie Antoinette updo. That's the one I'm currently wearing now. And number 2 is a Carolina Herrera inspired romantic chignon.
What is it about these looks that you love?
I think they're very soft looks and they translate really well across trends. So regardless of what's happening on the runway, you can recreate those looks for any season, for any style. Although they were styled and went down the runway on non-women of color, I think the versatility of both of those styles allows someone like me, a woman of color, to be able to recreate them with my hair texture and style. And I think that's fun.
What products did you use to create this look?
So on a day-to-day basis, I stick to the Tresemme Botanique range. It's really good for moisture and nourishment. But to be able to achieve this really big, voluminous updo, we went with the beautiful Volume 2-step range, which consists of a pre-washed conditioner, and then the shampoo. And then obviously to keep it all up and in place, we went with the Firm Hold Spray and the Extra Firm Hold Spray, just to keep it from moving.
Tresemme is a brand that promises to deliver salon-quality finishes. Do you feel the brand lives up to that promise?
I have been a user of Tresemme since I was a teenager. I completely and utterly believe in the proposition that Tresemme offers their clients. I buy it in my own capacity and I use it and I love it, and I definitely think it does deliver on what they're offering.
Your hair is part of your unique style statement, and Tresemme believes everyone can and should feel confident when their hair looks fashion-forward and feels its best. Well, Tresemme wants to give women around the world the confidence to put their best look forward. So make sure to visit Tresemme and their social media platforms to see the full Tres Trends videos with Kenny Morifi Winslow.
Now, careers are both made and brought crashing down on the Academy Awards red carpet, a night where what you wear is just as important as your latest film. And with the 2018 Oscars only days away, it's time for a history lesson in those dresses that have defined a style generation. And of course, here to chronicle iconic moments and preview what to expect at this year's most coveted award show is none other than Expresso's fashion editor, Nick Strelitz, everybody.
You got so excited, you stumbled for me.
I did. My tongue was just a little twisty because when I see you, you make me a little nervous.
We have this magnetic
Listen,
energy.
I'm not going to lie about it, but let's talk Oscars. Of course, it's considered one of the hugest movie nights and fashion nights. Yeah. People don't really know it, but it's a huge night for fashion.
A massive night for fashion. I mean, do we even remember who won Best Cinematographer in a supporting role to The Caterers?
But we remember what they wore if it was a fail.
Yeah, we do. But that's what I'm talking about. The fashion of the Oscars has become this sort of go-to destination in style, probably for the last, say, 15 years. It's really sort of cemented itself. I mean, this award show has been around for 90 years. What? But the fashion sort of didn't take hold, like I said, until about 15, 20 years ago, where starlets really started to put emphasis on what they wore because they realized, Lee, that it could either catapult them into superstardom or if the wrong dress is chosen, it can kind of derail your career ever so slightly. It sounds like I'm being dramatic.
Yeah.
And I am
But you are being dramatic.
No, I'm not.
You're not?
It's real, girl.
Okay,
it's real.
Because I love drama when it comes to the Academy Awards.
Yes, me
but
too.
Let's take a look at some of the most iconic looks through the ages.
I'm going to take you through sort of a curated edit of 7 dresses that have sort of defined a style generation at Oscars. So I'm starting with Grace Kelly. Throwback to 1955. This Edith Head dress she wore to receive her 1955 Oscars has become the template for all Oscar dresses moving forward.
Yes.
You can identify Gwyneth Paltrow, Kim Basinger. They've all modeled their dresses very much after what Grace Kelly did when she won the Oscar.
Exactly. Gwyneth Paltrow even also did the gloves as well.
Yes.
When she won her Oscar, hey?
She did. Oh, God, you're going to precipitate. We're going to see Gwyneth soon. But we're not. Don't go to Gwyneth yet. Not Gwyneth yet. Okay. But we're throwing back to 97, which was the year that Oscar dressing really took hold with none other than Nicole Kidman.
All right.
Now, Nicole Kidman at the 97 Oscars was only known as Tom Cruise's wife.
All right.
She'd done 12 movies, none had been a big blockbuster yet. This dress cemented her as an individual away from Mrs. Cruise. It was haute couture. So haute couture meaning specifically made for her.
Yes.
Which was never before seen at the Oscars. Now it's become the ultimate sort of test on whether you're worthy enough, quote unquote, on the red carpet.
All right.
So designed for her.
Taking it off the runway and then putting
straight
it
to her. Custom made for her.
Okay.
Throwback 2 years, 99. It's just 2 years later, so after Nicole, we saw Gwyneth Paltrow. Now, this is the year she won the Oscar for Shakespeare in Love. This is the dress you're talking about.
This is the one. Okay, she wasn't wearing gloves,
She wasn't.
but,
I know you threw me. I was like, was she? Oh God, I didn't
sure.
research that.
Yeah.
No, I mean you can see though the sort of takeouts though from the Grace Kelly dress in 1955. This dress is ultimate Cinderella vibes.
This is the one where she did the ugly cry and everybody was like, calm
My
it down,
dad
girl,
was so
calm it down.
important.
And then she forgot to thank her husband at the time as well.
Well, they divorced, so it's probably best she didn't thank him.
Okay.
What did he do for her?
Exactly. What
Okay,
have you? Oh, stop the press.
Charlize,
We might as well
y'all.
stop here.
Can we? I'm leaving.
Wow, this was insane. I remember this.
2004, Charlize Theron in Custom Gucci. Now, she was a relative unknown up until then. Yes, she'd starred in major motion pictures, but with Monster in 2003, her at the Oscars in 2004, this set her on the map.
She won this night, eh?
She won this night.
Yeah.
So it was just amazing for her, too.
Yes, okay, awesome. And then we've
2005, Hilary Swank the next year.
was this for $1 Million Baby?
$1 Million Baby,
Okay.
girl, you know it. We got Hillary. Is Hillary coming?
Hillary.
Hillary's on her.
Come
Oh,
on,
she
there
here.
she is.
She wants to. So this dress is
I wasn't
famous.
a fan, I'm not gonna lie.
Did you like it? This is Guy. No, but look, Guy LaRoche, 2005. We're gonna hit you with the back. Some Flavor Flav on the back. Maybe it's coming. It might not be coming. But this was known for the plunging neckline in the back, so we hadn't seen the back given. Just a snippet.
A little bit of the crack might have
A little
shown.
bit.
Okay.
Oh, but that's sexy. That's sexy. 2013, we had Jennifer Lawrence in custom Dior Couture.
Yes.
This is the year she won for Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah.
Again, she had just come out in Hunger Games. No one knew what to expect from
And
this
she
lady.
fell.
Oh, this is it. Wait for it. Oh, she went down.
We love her.
But look at the recovery. I mean, effortless, right?
Yes.
But almost just. It was quite complimentary to her as a person. She's quite goofy and funny, and this dress really made her for the night.
And then the last of the last.
The last was, okay, how can we know? Some African flavor.
Lakia.
Lupita in
Yes,
Prada,
yes.
2014 Oscars.
We love her.
Again, she was a breakout. No one knew who she was. So this night was looked at by all fashion aficionados, all style insiders.
Yeah.
What would she do? Would this be a style maven looking ahead into the
12
future?
years a slave for this,
12
yeah?
years of fashion icon.
Hello.
But maybe
Come on.
more than that.
We love
She's
her.
like 12.
And she was also part of the most epic selfie of all time.
Oh, with Ellen.
Yes, with Ellen.
Ellen always stealing everyone else's thunder,
Oh,
right?
Thank you so much, Nick. I had so much fun.
I had fun
You
too.
can
We should
come
do this
back
again.
We
Let's go
like
out
you.
tonight.
We like you. Well, that's your look at the Oscars. Dresses stamped in the Red Carpet Hall of Fame. And be sure to tune in to Expresso next week, Tuesday, when Nick takes us through all of the highlights from one of fashion's biggest nights.
No words.
Well, we are taking a very quick break. When we get back, we'll bring you just a snippet of some international, or in fact, environmental news. And this time around, milkmen making a return in the UK.
Oh, very interesting. And then Mr. Mo continues with another unbelievable performance winner. Fela is on its way after the break.
Expressing from the bottom of my heart that I'm totally smitten by you. I need you to understand that you're the only one who rocks my world. They can keep flirting, they can keep asking themselves why I pay them no mind. Truth be told, you're the only one I wanna share my world with. 'Cause you're beautiful inside out. Your sweet embrace makes my life. And these eyes of mine were made to focus on you. Only you. Only you. Only you. Right down
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, look at that beautiful sight. It is a gorgeous morning in the Mother City. This is your Thursday morning edition of your Feel Good Breakfast Show. On that note, let's quickly catch up with the morning headlines.
In the national news this morning, Eskom says it has signed a 20 billion rand loan facility with a consortium of both local and international banks to help improve the company's cash flow. The deal comes just after the announcement that S&P has downgraded Eskom's credit rating, citing liquidity concerns and insufficient government support that could trigger a default. S&P says the power utility remains at risk of facing a distressed exchange situation or default in the next 6 months, despite securing 30 billion rand in short-term funding this year. New Mining Minister Gwede Mantashe said on Wednesday he will finalize the mining charter, which has been challenged by mining companies in the next 3 months. The uncertainty around the new rules contained in the charter has deterred investment into a sector that accounts for around 8% of South Africa's gross domestic product. Government says it will negotiate the latest charter with mining companies, prompting the Chamber of Mines to temporarily suspend a legal challenge to the version drawn up by Mantashe's predecessor, Mosebenzi Zwane. Now moving further abroad, countries across Europe have shut schools and are rushing to shelter homeless people as a deadly blast of Siberian weather, dubbed the Beast from the East, kept the mercury far below zero. The death toll has risen to at least 42 since Friday, as victims include 18 people in Poland, 6 in the Czech Republic, 5 in Lithuania, 4 each in France and Slovakia, and 2 each in Italy and Romania. Homeless people account for many of the dead, and cities across Europe have been racing to open emergency shelters to protect people sleeping rough. And then finally, Afghan President Ashraf Ghani has unveiled a plan to open peace talks with the Taliban, including eventually recognizing them as a political party, days after the militants called for direct negotiations with the US. The apparent openness by both sides to some form of negotiations comes as civilian casualties have soared in recent months. Ghani disclosed the framework at the Kabul process, where he called for a truce, after which the Taliban could become a political party and contest elections. Well, that was your 8 o'clock news update. Let's get a final look at what's happening in the world of sport. Here's Graham.
Let's kick it off with cricket this morning. On the Proteas and Australia resume their bitter rivalry today as the first test of their 4-match series gets going in Durban. The most recent test series between the two saw South Africa secure a 2-1 win in Australia last year. However, the Proteas head into the tie having never won a test series against the Aussies on home soil. But we've got Faf, du Plessis, AB and Quinton back in the fold after injury recoveries. You can catch today's action from day one in Durban on SABC3 right here from 10 a.m. Then on to rugby, a massive day as South African rugby is expected to announce the new Springbok head coach this afternoon. Of course, with former Bok player Johan Rassie Erasmus as the leading candidate. Serving as the current director of SA Rugby, Erasmus has long been expected to fulfill the role after former coach Alistair Garcia was officially sacked last month. Under their new coach, the Boks' first outing of the season. It's a pretty tough one. They're up against England in a 3-test series in June. Then on to football, Ajax Cape Town have moved out of the PSL relegation zone that was last night thanks to a 2-0 win over SuperSport United. The victory takes Ajax up to 24 points on the long, one ahead of 15th place Polokwane City, while for United the loss leaves them in 12th, only 3 points clear of that dreaded drop zone. The PSL continues this weekend as our big guns, Sundowns tackle AmaZulu, while Wits host Baroka, but I think the tie of the round has to be Orlando Pirates, now definitely in the chasing pack up against Kaizer Chiefs. And then staying with football, the final spot up for grabs in the FA Cup quarterfinals was taken by Tottenham Hotspur last night as they earned a 6-1 fifth-round replay over Rochdale. Fernando Llorente was the hero on the night as he scored a hat-trick to send Spurs to the next round, where they will now battle Swansea for a place in the last 4. There are 2 top English teams in action tonight as Arsenal tackle Man City again. Of course, they met under a week ago in the League Cup final, and this is now in the Premier League, and kickoff for that game is at 10:15 South African time. And that's a wrap of your sport for this morning.
Thank Thank you, Graham. Well, on that note, let's take one final look at your temperatures. And it seems like most parts of the country can expect high temperatures, reaching the high 20s and early 30s. But starting off in Polokwane, expect a low of 15 with a high of 28. Mbombela, 16 with a high of 30. Partly cloudy conditions in Pretoria, 15 reaching a high of 30. Johannesburg, 14, 29. Mahikeng, 18 with a high of 30. Partly cloudy conditions in Klerksdorp, 16 reaching a high of 31. If you're in Kimberley, 17 is your minimum, 31 your maximum. Partly cloudy conditions in Bloemfontein, a low of 15, a high of 29. Richards Bay, 19, 31. Pietermaritzburg, 18, 31. Durban, 23, reaching a high of 28. Mthatha, 17, reaching a high of 25. Rain is expected in East London, 18, with a high of 24. Cradock, 15, 27. Port Elizabeth, 17, reaching a high of 24. There are partly cloudy conditions expected in George today. 15 is your minimum, 21 your maximum. Sutherland, 9, 25. Cape Town, partly cloudy, a low of 17, a high of 24. Worcester, 13, 27. Springbok, 11 with a high of 28. And in Uppington, a low of 19 with a high of 35 degrees Celsius. And that's where we leave your weather on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
We have been loving having Mr. Mo back in studio. Of course, took a big risk launching his music career, but it is paying off very much so in the form of his debut album, Destiny, which is sounding phenomenal, my brother. We're going to give you just another taste now with a hit track. It's destined for great things, Wena Fella.
Expressing from the bottom of my heart that I'm totally smitten by you. I need you to understand that you're the only one who rocks my world. They can keep flirting, they can keep asking themselves why I pay them no mind. Truth be told, you're the only one I wanna share my world with. 'Cause you're beautiful inside out. Your sweet embrace makes my life. And these eyes of mine were made to focus on you. Only you. Only you. Only you.
Thank you so much. You can see I've been getting goosebumps the whole morning. We've just had such cool content. But for me, why it's so awesome to hear you sing, dude. When you think of where you were just a short time ago and how much of a risk you've taken, when you look at the body of work that you've created in this album, I cannot believe that you were ever doing anything other than this. What was the final push? What made you say, okay, it's time for me to go all in?
It's a passion more than anything. I love music, so it's like a drug. It haunts you. So
yeah,
I love music, and that's what keeps me going. It just keeps me going. And the fact that I can impact people's lives out there through my gift, that's just amazing.
And it is a gift, man. I'm so proud of you, dude. Well done. Thank you so much for blessing us with that gift this morning.
It's always great being here.
Absolutely love it, man. I think this is going to be a permanent little studio for you, dude. Come back anytime you can. We'll have one more live performance on Facebook a little bit later. But you can let us know what you thought of that performance on our social media platforms. We're going to take a quick break. We'll see you on the other side.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We promised you a very quick break, and it's now time for us to get a little bit of a catch-up of what's happening in our environmental news.
Yeah, really looking forward to our Into the Wild discussion this morning, but let's fill you in on some of the latest breaking news, and this one is really cool, understandably catching our attention. The traditional milkman is making a return in the UK. So how is that environmental news, you might ask? Well, the reason is that a large public outcry against plastic waste has now led to a massive upsurge in the number of millennials signing up to have their daily milk delivered in glass bottles, which is brilliant. And of course, I remember this from when I was a child. You might have been a little too
well,
young.
I saw it in the movies.
Yeah. Well, since the beginning of 2018, more than 2,500 new customers have signed up to one specific company's milk delivery service. That's great. And they claim that the surge has come ever since David Attenborough's new documentary series, which I'm glued to at the moment, Blue Planet 2, and it was released last year. Watch it if you have the opportunity. It's amazing.
I feel like this is such a millennial thing to do, but that's going to be such a cute Instagrammable moment.
Milk
being delivered.
Milkman, yeah. And that's where we leave the milkman discussion.
Yes.
Thank you.
And then, well, listen, how's this? China reassigns 60,000 soldiers, and that's to plant trees. Now, they've decided they need more trees, and that is to fight climate change and all the smog in the cities. So they've got a large regiment of army and some police that have been withdrawn from their border posts and placed behind, or at least placed inland, to plant trees. And this all comes as the country plans to plant 84,000 square kilometers of trees by the end of this year. That's roughly the size of Ireland.
I mean, that's okay. This is like a goosebump show for me, but this from a country that had some of the worst environmental policies. Just a few years ago, they are making a massive, massive impact. That is amazing, setting a tone for the rest of the world. You can let us know. Would you buy your milk from a milkman?
Yes.
Is that day come again?
Well, our new president has only been in office for a few days, but he's always become a major attraction. And of course, the people are so in love with him, from his walk on the promenade and the walk from Athlone to Gugulethu or Gugulethu to Athlone. He certainly is loved by the people. Business people as well, as was seen with the Presidential Golf Challenge.
It's a day upon which the highest-ranking officials in the country trade in their blazers and ties for golf shirts and caps as they take on the fairways of the Presidential Golf Challenge. Now, inaugurated in 1996, the Presidential Golf Challenge gives the sitting president the opportunity to raise funds for a charity of his choice. And this year, the money raised will go to the Cyril Ramaphosa Foundation. So, on a point of order, it's time to tee off.
All the proceeds raised by the Golf Challenge are distributed to charities chosen by the President, and it's a rare opportunity for business leaders to play golf alongside our nation's head of state.
Natekhomo, looking behind you at the golf carts making their way to the fairway, it must be quite a relief because it means that the Presidential Golf Challenge of 2018 is finally underway. But it must have taken quite some energy and effort to organize this day.
It's taken quite a while, and hard work, sleepless nights, having to ensure that people do exactly as one is instructing. But I must say it was fun as well. We are grateful actually to the President for agreeing to be on today, given his busy schedule.
Why is the Presidential Golf Challenge such an important event on the government calendar?
We are trying to make sure that the coffers that are going to be collected here go to where they're supposed to be, which is to support the needy, to support our youth in their development.
Youth was represented at the event by Cassidy Williams, a 20-year-old rising golf star who had the honor of being the President's golf partner.
Today is a fantastic day. The weather is great, and to be playing golf here after a budget day is really fantastic. And I'd like to thank all the business people who are here, the various companies, and of course our Department of Public Service who have arranged this. And the companies who are here, we thank you, we applaud you, because we're doing this for charity. So it's a great day, and it's a great day for fun, for laughing at each other as we miss golf balls. But only on one condition: you don't laugh at the President's mistakes.
Mr. President, it's only been a few days of you officially in office. How does the title settle in when you're walking around? People are referring to you as Mr. President.
Well, many people still refer to me as DP, and that's the one that I'm used to. So I'm saying to them they should just call me President DP. Yeah, it's still taking time to settle in, and with the support and the enthusiastic feeling amongst our people, I think it will settle in with time, because a new dawn has really arrived in our country, and people all over the country are feeling enthusiastic. When I came in, I saw a number of residents of this golf course, which I've never seen before, standing at the gate holding the South African flag. And a new sense of pride, a new sense of enthusiasm has come in. Even the vuvuzela is going to say we should go and start. So it's fantastic.
Although the President himself declared that he's no Tiger Woods, he's a champion for the people. And helping those in need seems to be par for the course of his presidency.
In golf, just as much as in life, it's always the follow-through that makes the big difference. And as much as today's 18 holes played at the Atlantic Beach Golf Club were about raising money, it is the true long-term effect that'll have an impact on South African lives.
Coming up this weekend, a massive weekend, I think, for all environmentalists, all South Africans, everyone across the globe. In fact, the 3rd of March is World Wildlife Day. And today, as we head into the wild, we're joined by Monet du Plessis, the CEO of WWF South Africa, one of the world's most recognizable, respected, and I think powerful independent conservation organizations out there. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome. Thank you. I'm in awe of what you guys do. From our brief engagement, you know, we obviously get to just see the highlights. We don't often get to see the hard work, the slog the hurdles that you guys have to deal with on a daily basis. But you have such a golden opportunity with World Wildlife Day to plug into the mainstream, to get the world to take notice of where you are right now. How did World Wildlife Day come about, and what is it all about?
Look, World Wildlife Day was proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly, so it's a big global body that decided that we needed to raise awareness on plants and animals across the world, because plants and animals are not just beautiful things that inspire us, but they also are the building blocks of life. When I say building blocks, you know, the pop rivets in an aeroplane wing, every species, every animal, every plant is one of those rivets, and you take them out, something is going to happen.
There's going to be far-reaching and devastating, and I mean, there's a big and emotional attachment to certain species, we know, but this is about the overall bigger picture, and I'm so glad we've stopped on a beautiful big cat, one of South Africa's icons. This year's theme is Big Cats, Predators Under Threat. Where is our big cat population? I know there are so many battles being waged on so many different battlegrounds when it comes to big cats and conservation and keeping them in the wild. What is our population like in the wild?
So, you know, big cats are under threat across the world. Tigers, lions, leopards, all the large cats, snow leopards and so on. We read about these things. And globally, there are only about between 20 and 30,000 lion left. In South Africa, we're talking about 1,500 adult male lions in the wild. So the numbers are low, and this is about 10% of what it would have been under pristine conditions. Of course, a lot of pressure on the big cats, in particular in terms of habitat loss.
Yeah.
They're getting pushed into strictly protected areas. The human-wildlife conflicts outside of protected areas obviously are big, and there isn't enough space for them to live.
We've seen a couple of lions roaming into those human spaces over the last couple of years, which has obviously created quite a stir. Big lions get a lot of the attention because they're big, they're beautiful, they create this media hype. Something that possibly doesn't is the unbelievably cute, and that's its downfall, pangolin. Are they the most trafficked animal on the planet at the moment?
You know, pangolin are not well known to most people. We don't, many of us don't know they even exist. This is a little mammal that we're looking at here. Small mammal, soft underbody, but then with the hard scales on the outside. These animals, there are 4 species in Africa, and they reckon that in the past decade, over 1 million of these have been killed and eaten and used for medicinal purposes. Yeah.
Oh man, and it just looks prehistoric. It's adorable, yes, but there's obviously something very unique about it and very unique habitats as well. We're going to chat a bit more about some of those big successes that I hope you have the opportunity to stop and just take a breath and celebrate. We'll get into where the black rhinos are at the moment, but we are talking about World Wildlife Day, an opportunity for all of us to take cognizance of where we are, where we've come from, and where we need to be.
Thank you, Graham. Well, on that note, we're taking a very quick break, and when we get back, we continue our conversation with Mornay du Plessis about the WWF success stories as we go into the wild.
And then Chef Angie is in the house, and even though I love buns so much, this morning we're making a recipe for a creamy burger bowl, and unfortunately there are no buns.
Tonight on Tropica Island of Treasure, Maldives.
Things just got real. It's the elimination round, and one of us could be going home.
Both brain and brawn are put to the test. Go! Teams play to win crucial points to save them from elimination, and one team will be going home.
It's sad, but someone has to leave.
And there's a slender twist.
You are leaving the island.
What?
Don't miss Tropica Island of Treasure, Maldives tonight at 7:30 on SABC3. The stage is yours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
We are talking about World Wildlife Day, of course, coming up on the 3rd of March, an opportunity for all of us to celebrate some successes and, I think, reaffirm our commitment, none more so than WWF South Africa. And we've got Mornay du Plessis here just filling us in on where we are, the current sort of standpoint of where so many of these running battles, and I don't know how you manage the situation when you've got so many front lines to manage, and I think one that obviously has stood out for the last few decades has been when it comes to rhino poaching, something that we have seen here in South Africa go far beyond what should have been allowed. But there have been some amazing successes, and the black rhino, obviously the most endangered of the rhino species, that has been one of those major front lines. Where do we stand at the moment, and are we winning the battle, do you think?
Well, look, I would not easily say we're winning the war, but there are battles that we're winning. And some of the good news around black rhinos is that WWF has since 2003 embarked on a black rhino range expansion program. And in this, what we're trying to do is to establish new populations. So to get ahead of things and to drop animals into new areas where they hadn't occurred previously. And what happens in this range expansion program is that the consequence is that 10% of our black rhinos in South Africa at the moment are in these project sites. So most of the work happens before you actually put the rhinos into an area, because you've got to identify the areas, you've got to get people to work together, communities, private landowners, and the state, and then to bring the animals in so that they can create new populations.
I've heard a figure, 21%, a rise of 21% in population. Is this
This is in KwaZulu-Natal. So in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, 21% increase in the black rhino population over the last decade or so.
There, in these smaller areas where you've got the private kind of connection, where you can tap into those funding models, where there is an eco-tourism element involved, that would seem like an easy answer. When you get to an expanse like the Kruger National Park, which we know is one of our most precious resources and already established, we've got the space. Are we winning in that area? How are we approaching this in the Kruger?
Yes. So Kruger National Park, of course, is a magnificent, large, wild, protected area. When we say protected area, you know, it's an overstatement of protection, because the area is so vast. If you think of the Table Mountain National Park, that even that park where people are walking and getting attacked, we can't keep people safe from each other.
That's tiny, yeah.
So if you're talking about the vast expanse of Kruger Park, that's very difficult. Some of the work that we are doing there involves scientific work, helping to guide the black rhino scientific base to understand, and also to be able to predict where poaching attempts might take place, where the highest densities are, and to juggle the manpower in response to that.
Something that leaps off the page for me is community involvement. We need to take ownership of this, not just on a big scale, but right on that grassroots level. And we're going to talk a bit about some of the projects that you've got going on that front. But you can let us know if you've had any amazing engagements with the wild here in South Africa. Please post some beautiful pictures. Celebrate World Wildlife Day. It's happening on the 3rd of March, an opportunity for us really to recognize just how precious this resource is in South Africa.
Well, it's time for us to get into the kitchen with Chef Angie. And of course, it's time to have a burger with a little bit of a difference. It's a burger in a bowl, so it's bunless, it's healthy, it's good for you. And of course, it is going to be something that I'm going to call dibs on. I'm saying it now. I'm calling dibs on this meal. I never do that. Plus, also ahead of this Saturday, we are heading for a World Guinness Records, Book of Records record of making the longest line of sandwiches using none other than clover cream au-nays. It's going to be absolutely amazing. But Chef Angie, so good to have you in studio this morning.
Nice to be here.
Can you see I'm quite excited?
I can see.
I am so excited because not only do we get to make a burger, but we also get to use one of the best mayonnaises that I love. Super, super creamy. Why? Because it uses actual clover cream.
There we go.
We love that. So what do we need for our recipe this morning?
Okay, pretty straightforward. This is a lovely recipe because there's no buns. And much as you said, we love our buns. But, you know, sometimes we want to be healthy and light and whatever. So
Healthy and light and whatever.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we're making the burger. So it's a burger in a bowl.
Yes.
We've got our mince, and use whatever mince suits you.
Oh, and that mince looks
nice,
gorgeous.
free range, and you can have it with a little bit. Sometimes when you're making a burger, a little bit more fat is better,
nice.
because then it holds together better.
Okay.
And very importantly is in fact the salt. The salt, strange chef, aside from flavour, helps to bind that meat together and stick. So that's why we actually add the salt. We've got lots of salt. So I know it looks like a lot,
It
but
always
it's not.
saddens me when people don't add enough salt to their homemade burgers. I'm like, do not be
tastes of nothing if you don't add salt. Salt and pepper, very, very important. And then we've got a little bit of paprika, some smoked paprika.
A little bit of
extra flavor. You know what? You can add whatever you like to this. That's the nice part. Some dried herbs, some garlic, whatever. So we've got some onions as well. Mix all of that together, and then we just bind it with a little bit of barbecue sauce.
Did I see that the onions have kind of been sautéed already?
They have been sautéed.
Why is that?
A little bit of caramelization. It's going to give you a bit of extra umami flavor, but you don't have to.
Okay.
You can just put them in grated raw. You know, one of my mom's little tricks was instead of, because she was a housewife, she can chop really finely, just grate it in.
Okay.
Much easier.
I love that.
Okay, so you've got your mix, and then you just turn this into a patty as per normal.
Okay.
Remember to take your rings off.
True story.
And then just sort of turn that into a patty. You can use one of those scone cutters. Sometimes I do that at home. You take a scone cutter, press it in nice and flat, and then you get a really good shape. Okay. And then that's your patty. You're going to fry that off in a nice medium sort of pan, not too hot, otherwise it's going to burn.
We don't want that.
We don't
want a charred burger.
No, and a nice little trick as well is to get some colour on both sides and then pop your pan or put it into a dish and into the oven and let it finish off in the oven. Then you get a nice even cook, but without burning it.
Well, the recipe this morning that we're making, you can use the keyword clover. SMS that to 33728. We'll gladly send you the ingredients list and the link to the recipe, and you could be making this creamy burger bowl yourself. And now for my favorite pièce de résistance, the cremonnaise, which has got real clover cream in there. Absolutely amazing. And it has got tons of vitamin E, no MSG, so it really is absolutely amazing. But before we finish all of the garnishments, take a look at what we did to get to this point.
Take your love of burgers in a new direction by adding greens and heaps of flavor in a clover cremonnaise burger bowl. For this recipe, you'll need 80 milliliters of clover cremonnaise, a third of a cup of barbecue sauce, pepper, salt, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, an onion, 600 grams of lean beef mince, sesame seeds, clover cheddar cheese, wild rocket, onion marmalade, and 4 tablespoons of mustard. Place the mince in a large bowl. Add chopped and sautéed onions. Add the barbecue sauce. Add smoked paprika and season with salt and pepper. Mix together well. Divide the mince mixture into 4 equal portions. Shape this into patties. Pour some olive oil into a hot pan and fry the patties for 3 to 4 minutes. Flip the patties over and cook for another 3 to 4 minutes. Layer a patty with clover cheddar cheese on top, as well as onion marmalade, mustard, clover cremonnaise, wild rocket, and sesame seeds. You won't even miss the burger bun with all the deliciousness in this creative burger bowl.
Made with love by Clover.
And as we finish the final garnishings, that keyword once again is clover to 33728. You can use that keyword, and of course we'll send you the ingredients list and the link to the recipe, and you could be making this yourself. Some delicious caramelized onion. We've got our clover cremonnaise with real clover cream in there. Absolutely creamy and delicious, and so nutritious. Oh, I can I can speak English, I promise you. My mouth is already watering. It's so amazing. Chef Angie, you've outdone yourself. They told me I have to take a cute bite because this is for TV. They don't know me. I'll take a big bite here. Once again, that keyword Clover to 33728. Let's have a taste. Ah, here we go. Ooh. Is that a cute bite? Is this a cute bite?
That's cute.
I don't care. No, this is not going to be cute. This will be worse. Okay, let me first say this. Okay, because we need the fam to listen up. Do you want to be a part of the world-breaking Guinness World Record this weekend? Now, now's your chance. Join Clover Creamonaise on the 3rd of March at Maponya Mall, where we will be attempting to break the Guinness World Record of the longest line of sandwiches, measuring a massive 4 kilometers. Can you believe it? And topped with creamy Clover Creamonaise. So you can join us this Saturday and come and say hello to your favorite celebs. Samizi is going to be there. Miss Cosmo is going to be there. And of course, our very own Ewan Stradum is going to be there, amongst many others. So let's put South Africa on the map with Clover Creamonaise, the only mayonnaise with added cream. Give it to me.
There you go.
Oh, I'm terrible. Fun.
Creamonaise is the only mayonnaise with Clover cream. Made with love by Clover.
I was just dreaming about that sandwich. There's a reason why they don't invite me to these record-breaking things when sandwiches are involved. Well, of course, we know that the 3rd of March is World Wildlife Day. Been having such an interesting discussion with Mornay du Plessis, CEO of WWF South Africa. This is probably the highlight of your year. This is your Christmas, your New Year. This is where you need people to really take on board what we need to do. And I think a big area where we can get involved is on the community level, and you need it. You're going to need that involvement, that buy-in. I'd love for you to talk me through the Keta project and Mangalane community and how that has really come to be the success there.
Yes, so there's a very big project that's taking off around Kruger National Park and in the southern parts of Mozambique, on the Kruger border on the Mozambique side. And this is a very big joint venture between WWF Mozambique, WWF South Africa, Sandparks, as well as USAID, who are providing the funding. Keta in the local vernacular there means to choose. And basically what is happening, we know lots of rhinos are getting poached and killed, increasingly ivory of elephants as well. And in the process what's happening is that communities are getting in the crossfire of crime syndicates. And so as much as we want to protect rhino, we also want to ensure that people and their lifestyles, their livelihoods are not threatened. And so we're working very closely with them to help empower them and also to provide socioeconomic alternatives, because people in the Mangalane community down in southern Mozambique, southern part of Kruger in Mozambique, is a very impoverished community, and wildlife don't always mean good things for them. Yeah. You know, a destroyed crop, a cow or a bull that's been taken by a lion or something like that. So there needs to be something that gives them the incentive to become the guardians of the wildlife rather than to become those who get tempted into taking illegal wildlife products.
I think we often forget about how many rangers, how many community members get lost in this battle, and I'm so glad that we keep using the word war and battle, because there are guns, there is a huge amount of funding going into this. It is a war. It's a, you know, in any other context it would be seen as a civil war. What do we need to do now? What can I do as a person to support WWF, not just on World Wildlife Day, but every day? What do you guys need?
Yes, so when we talk about war, I just want to say that here we're taking the soft side with the communities to make sure that we emphasize the aspect of war and combat, and rather get them to own and to become part.
Protect, yeah.
And take care. So, you know, protect is also a hard word.
Yeah.
What we need is for individuals who are watching the show to put up their hands and to say where, you know, to understand where the biggest pressures are on wildlife. Organizations like my own and others all need help in some way or the other. And also then, of course, corporates would be very welcome to throw their hats in the ring to help this this flotilla of actors to do good in the wildlife sector.
I love it. They've got projects that are working. They've got individuals working on the ground doing amazing things. I love the fact that we are now shifting gears to embrace what is ours. It's our wildlife. They are our animals. Our communities need to love and embrace and I think really take on board just how precious that is. Enjoy World Wildlife Day, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you
and
very
for the
much.
work you do every day. Absolutely amazing.
Well, we are taking a very quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Go fill up those coffee cups because when we get back, you will only be seeing a red. I'm talking about JP Sebastian joining us in studio to give us a rundown of Red Sparrow. And of course, in the kitchen, we'll be whipping up some red velvet squares. So we'll see you after the break.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. And of course, this Sunday is one of the biggest Sundays in the world of film. We're talking about the Academy Awards. Which one is it? The 90th?
This would be the 90th.
The 90th
yes.
Academy
So we're through with the
Awards.
Globes, we're through with the SAGs, we're through with the BAFTAs. We're through the Directors Guild of America and et cetera, et cetera. Now it's the big leagues.
Exactly.
And I want to talk about the Best Picture nominees for this Sunday coming up. Well, in South Africa, you need to drink a lot of coffee because it's going to be 3 a.m. on Monday or something.
Fine, we got this. We're here.
Oh, yeah.
We're available.
Somehow
we're
you
ready.
pull this off every day.
Okay, awesome. Let's take us through the big contenders.
There are three in particular that are of a special interest to me, and I'd say that the one that I want to start off with is Get Out.
Yes.
Directed by Jordan Peele, starring
David.
Daniel Kaluuya, who is
Dan.
no, it's okay. Daniel Kaluuya, who is nominated for Best Actor, Original Screenplay nomination as well, of 4 nominations. The other one is Best Director, which, like I said, is Jordan Peele. Would be only the 5th black director to be nominated in the Oscars history, which is like 69 times it's been awarded, so times 69 by 5. I wasn't good at maths, I watch movies for a living.
That's crazy. Did you tell everybody about that tier?
Yeah, so during the, I did, the audition for Daniel Kaluuya's role in this movie, he replicated, according to Jordan Peele, the same juicy tear down the same path in his cheek 5 times.
That's amazing.
And why that movie's so special really is how the way it blends genres, and it does that because it's making a point about how people of color like sort of perceive their race in situations. It's hard to tell whether it's comedy at times. You want to laugh, but it's so macabre and there's a weird threatening undercurrent in those situations. It's
so powerful.
So really well balanced as a story, and only the 6th horror in Oscar history to get nominated for Best Picture as well. So that's quite an achievement.
Crazy. The next movie is
Lady Bird is starring Saoirse Ronan, who is definitely in the running for Best Actress. Laurie Metcalf was supporting Original Screenplay, and Best Director, which is Greta Gerwig, who would also be a number 5 in Oscar history for 5th woman to be nominated for Best Director, which is also despicable. But hey, getting there, I suppose. Lady Bird is a beautiful story and easily, for me, top 5 of all time coming-of-age stories. It's styled in such a way that you're not just watching the story like run through the connect the dots type thing. You're almost being forced to watch it in a way that it feels like you're remembering. It feels like it's sort of unlocking parts of you, and the characters, held up for that reason, not just as, you know, a spoiled teen or whatever, but she's really quite compassionate. It's a beautiful human being that you get to be a part of.
A movie that I haven't seen but maybe should see before Sunday, The Shape of Water. 13 nominations.
I just put out like 5 bones in my body.
Spinning heel kick there.
Yes, I need medical attention ASAP. So 13 nominations, well deserved. I can't go through the entire list, obviously, but it would be supporting actor for Richard Jenkins. It would be supporting actress for Octavia Spencer. It would be lead actress for Sally Hawkins, who at the lifting of a finger, playing this mute character, could bring tears to your eyes. It would not be Best Fishman, but it does have costume design. And Best Director is Guillermo del Toro. Again, a genre-bending thing. It refuses to sit still and just be sci-fi and just be romance and just be drama. And how do you achieve a romance where a human woman falls in love with a fish man and you're totally roped in and you root for the couple? And
couldn't they have made the fish man a little better looking though?
They said that they specifically worked on his butt. Like Guillermo del Toro was like, he has a nice fish butt.
All right, just quickly, can I read off the other 6?
Go for it, yeah,
we've got, of course, Dunkirk is in there, Call Me By Your Name, The Post, Phantom Thread, and then Darkest Hour in there as well. I'm so sad that The Greatest Showman's not there, but hey.
There were a couple of snubs, but you guys need to watch Good Time from last year as well, and The Florida Project is a major snub. But The Post really doesn't need to be there, and others are questionable as well.
All right, well, we'll come back and talk about Jennifer Lawrence's latest picture, Red Sparrow, after this.
All the R's.
From Red Sparrow to Red Velvet, Chef Angie Boyd, one of our favorites, is here. Mr. Mo, come in, man. I don't want to lift a finger this morning. So Angie, Mr. Mo, Angie.
Hi, nice to meet you, Angie.
Great to have you here. You've given us 2 performances, so we're going to reward you with some hard labor this morning. You're going to help Angie whip up what looks like the most delicious little squares with our clover cremonnaise. What are you making, Angie?
Red velvet squares, basically.
There we go.
Red velvet cake, red velvet squares. It's that easy.
And it looks really cute, and it's super delicious. So, Mr. Mo, can you bake? Do you cook?
I can try.
We're going to
give it a go.
Yes, I'm going to give you a job. You come stand here.
You'll stand in the middle, man.
Okay,
what
so
am I doing?
you are going to mix the liquid. So I've got 2 eggs.
Look how she does it with one hand just to put you in your place, dude. Hey?
Go. And give it a good... Go on. Go mad. Okay, some oil.
There we go.
So eggs, oil. We've got a little bit of cold coffee.
Cold coffee?
Cold brewed coffee. Just adds that little bit of extra flavour.
A little oomph, yeah.
Little background notes. Some red food colouring.
Cool. And you want the burgundy, you must go deep.
There we go.
Yeah. Already looking interesting.
It is, eh? And then some vinegar. We need that little bit of acid hit. And then we've got some buttermilk. So there's lots of liquids. It's quite an easy recipe. It's all the dries together and all the liquids together. So a little bit of buttermilk. And then our cremonnaise. Oh, I can just a little.
Because there is a bit of a tartness, a zing here.
Yes.
Which is cool.
So, and it's slightly almost savoury background notes, which is quite nice. So it's not terribly sweet when you eat this.
Because it can be overkill when
everything's too sweet.
So
okay. Then we've got our dries. We've got our cake flour.
Whisk, buddy, whisk, man. Come on, what are you doing?
I'm killing it.
Game show,
I'm loving it.
We've got our sugar.
I'm going to open a bakery.
Yeah, there you go. And we've got some cocoa. Red velvet is characterized by just a little dash of cocoa powder. So it's not a chocolate cake, but it is sort of the chocolatiness.
It's note, yeah.
There we go. And then all my dries are baking powder, bicarb, and a little bit of salt as well. And then this goes, all the way around.
It does go.
Okay, there we go. That goes in, turn that on. Okay, now, the tricky
please tell him
bit.
what a good job he's done with his whisking.
He's done a fantastic job.
Look how smooth it looks.
Beautiful, man.
There we go. Okay, so then we just add all the liquids into the dries.
Slowly, yeah?
See.
No, obviously not everyone has a beautiful cake mixing machine at home. Is this something you can kind of do relatively easily by hand?
You literally have another bowl with your dries and do it by hand.
And just work it in there. I say this because I know you're going to go home and make this for someone special. I'm going to
try it out, yeah.
I've got to figure this out. And then we've got our batter.
So if you'd like these ingredients, as simple as they are, sent directly to your phone, you've got to SMS the keyword cake to 33728 and we'll send you that link. How cool is that? Just keep it away from Zoe.
If I could figure out how to work the machine, it would be great. Okay, and then you've got your batter. It comes out like a burgundy colour, doesn't it?
Yeah, man. I could eat that as is.
And then we've got our cake pan. Just line it with some paper, pour the batter in, bake it at about 180, 190, and don't overbake, otherwise it actually goes browner rather than redder.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a weird
you want
trick.
to keep that...
Yeah. So And then once you're done, you're going to make an icing, which is very similar to a butter icing, but you finish it off with a dash of the creaminase. So it also just takes away from that sweetness.
I love that, and you've got continuity through the flavors. And I mean, she's an artiste. Okay, so this part I'm going to let her do.
You bake your cake. Once it's baked, you turn it out, you let it cool, cut it into squares or whatever shapes you like, and then you're just going to pipe some.
She does it and makes it look so simple.
It looks
There we go.
amazing. Hey,
we
how
can
gorgeous,
we can add some sprinkles for fun.
You
Do you want to add some
do the sprinkles.
Yes,
Mr. Mo.
Don't go mad though, hey?
No,
you can put as many as yours, man. You can put as many as you want.
You could be a cake decorator.
You're proving yourself to be a master of your craft. No, that's absolutely beautiful. The keyword there, again, is cake to 33728. If you'd like to whip up your red velvet squares, you can make enough for the whole week or eat them all in one go, which is probably what's going to happen straight after this.
Creamonaise is the only mayonnaise with Clover cream. Made with love by Clover.
Well, tomorrow the director of Hunger Games returns with The Red Sparrow. I've just been talking to JP Sebastian about it, and I think we should let you take a look at this next clip and judge for yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Red Sparrow.
From this day forward, you will become sparrows, weapons in a global struggle for power.
Every human being is a puzzle of need. You must learn to intuit what is missing, become the missing piece, and they will give you anything. Take off your clothes.
Your body belongs to the state. Since your birth, the state nourished it. Now the state asks something in return. You must learn to sacrifice for a higher purpose, to push yourself beyond all limitation, and forget the sentimental morality with which you were raised.
Okay, I'm kind of getting like a Salt vibe here, you know, where they were kind of
the
raised
movie. I thought
in
you
a
said I was being
particular way.
salty.
No, you usually are salty. But tell us more about Red Sparrow, because when I initially saw it, I thought Atomic Blonde / Salt.
I think I think the marketing has been like leading people to believe it's going to be like this high octane type, you know, butt whooping type thing. But the story being that she starts out as a prima ballerina. Let me try that word again. Meets with an accident, an injury while she's performing, and then has to take to this life, which she's sort of forced into because she. Oh, hello. We've been visited by another less graceful creature. She gets pressed into this life of you know, spycraft because she sees too much in a situation that her uncle leads her to. He's in the Russian intelligence community. And so she goes to the school where these so-called sparrows are trained in the art primarily of seduction, of using their bodies to extract information. So it's pull no punches in that respect. And I'm not saying, you know, making a case, a normative plus or minus about the movie or whatever, but as a kind reminder to audiences, just be aware of the level of violence against women in this movie.
Wow.
Just be sensitive to that when you go watch. It can get quite graphic and hairy. I think some people in the audience were even flinching when we were watching.
Is it necessary, though? Because sometimes it's there to build a story, it's there to create context, it's there to either make you fall in love with the character, get where they're coming from, or is it just, you know...
Give them some sort of emotional content or whatnot. This is something I suppose you could leave up to taste, but for my liking, I really don't like sort of the carriage, literally, of the vehicle of the female body as far as storytelling goes. It's just treated sort of sanguine, like, oh, look, a car just hit this lady, or she just got smacked over the head by someone during a torture scene and whatnot. And obviously, violence happens to women, and but like if you don't, like I said, get that sort of emotional content, get into the inner universe. Not that the person has to dwell on the fact that they were just sexually abused, but like for the character to just mindlessly power through and then immediately switch to another situation where she's persuaded to use sex as sort of the weapon. I think you've got to write that very, very carefully. But that's not my major gripe with the movie. While I think that's really written quite indelicately, and it feels like a 15-year-old boy wrote it at times. It is a 2-hour and 20-minute long movie, so it's a bit bloated. There are lots of really slow scenes, and it doesn't really fall down on the side of Atomic Blonde so much, and it's not clever enough to be something like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. So it's not super sophisticated like John le Carré or whatever you like, and it's not necessarily, you know, just like high action, high energy.
Should we find out how many popcorns you want to give this movie? Because I don't think it's going to do very well. No. Shall we go for it? How, JP, Sebastian, give us the popcorn.
Salted popcorn. So yeah, I love the cast. Jennifer Lawrence, Jeremy Irons, etc. They're all strong and whatnot, but the story is really weak. 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10 popcorns. Wow,
and
wow,
boring.
we were. The real JP Sebastian has returned, everybody. Let's
I'm
take
back.
a break. Wow. We'll be right back after this.
Do you want to be part of breaking a Guinness World Record? Now is your chance. Join Clover's Cremonaise on the 3rd of March at Maponya Mall when we attempt to break the Guinness World Record for the longest line of sandwiches, measuring a massive 4 kilometers, topped with some creamy Clover mayonnaise. Come say hello to your favorite celebs, Somizi, Ewan Stradom, DJ Miss Cosmo, and many others. Let's put South Africa on the map with Clover Cremonaise, the only mayonnaise with added dairy cream.
It's my feel-good breakfast show. Welcome back, and we're now connecting with you on social media. Mr. Mo, our guest performance today, releasing his debut album, Destiny. We asked you, what did you think of it? Everyone is loving his performance. Regina says, you're that song, that thing reminds me of the Maldives songs that Cat sings, dance to. It is a nice song to wake up to. Everyone praising Mr. Mo's music. So head on over to our social media. We would love to hear from you. Remember that hashtag Expresso Show.
Oh man, so it's done. What an awesome day. Thank you so much. So many goosebump moments. Thank you to Mr. Mo. And the best part, we get to do it all over again.
Sir.
Tomorrow, we're going to get the cast of a great new South African film, The Raw, in studio.
Exactly. Zakes Bantwini also is here and he's performing for us. And then, of course, we're also checking out the Cape Town International Animation Festival and bringing you a little preview.
Awesome stuff, and we'll connect with the Sharks ahead of their next big Super Rugby fixture. It's a brand new Super Rugby season. We love you guys so much. Don't ever forget it. Adios.
Ta-ta.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.